my scrappy friends, I have a Cultivating Creativity layout for you today. Try to say that 5 times fast. I can barely even say it once. This is a layout that I made a while ago, so just bear with me while I try to remember a lot of the specifics of this. I found this on my computer and I realized I should just do the voiceover for this and get this up for you guys so you can see it, because I did do it. And sometimes I feel bad when I make a layout and then I don't share the video when I actually taped it. So I am going to share it. This is the grid style challenge that we did a while ago. I'll try to make sure that I put the links to their grid videos. The rest of the ladies, I know Felicia, Megan, Khristina, and Sara. I think that's all of us. I'm trying to remember. There's quite a bit of us that did this challenge. So, but this was nice and fun, and it's just little ways to like kind of keep your brain working and just kind of working on those skills that we have, just to keep our bodies and our brains wanting to create more, is really what our thought process was when we started this challenge. Okay, so I am taking some photos that I had taken with my really nice camera. So these are DSLR camera photos. I am finding more and more now, guys, that I want to use the photos that I've taken with my DSLR. The problem is that I am quite lazy and I don't like taking them off of the camera and putting them onto my computer, and then from my computer putting them into Photoshop and editing them that way, and then putting them onto my phone if I want to share them and all that stuff. So sometimes I wait to do stuff with these photos, which is a shame because I really like using my DSLR. I try to use it every week at least, but I mean, you know, we all kind of just stick with using our cell phones a lot of times. And I know my iPhone has really good, it takes good photos. There's just certain times where it doesn't take good photos, like in the dark or like near nighttime, or if it's really cloudy and dark in the house. But generally I get fairly good photos, but the DSLR is just, you just get really, really good photos if you know how to use it. And I've been playing around with it. But anyway, so these are when we went to the pumpkin patch, and I really haven't scrapped these photos, so I was wanting to scrap them. So what I am doing is backing each of these little photos, and these are about 3x4 size, I think. I tried to make them all the same, and I printed them all on one sheet and cut them up that way. So they're not all the same size. Because I just had them in Photoshop, and from Photoshop I saved them. So in Photoshop you can go in and you can do guidelines so that you can have equal size photos. But of course that is just too easy to do that. And I didn't do it that way. I just put them in and tried to get them all around the same size. Without using the guidelines. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I backed each one of these up so that there's a white border, because I wanted them all to look the same pretty much. And so now what I'm trying to do is layer different papers and stuff behind each of the photos. I've done this before a few times, but the one time that I did it and I absolutely loved it the most, I used smaller photos. I think I used like 2x2, like 3. It wasn't 3x3s, I don't think. I think it was a little bit smaller than that. Maybe 2.5x2.5. And I layered tons of stuff behind them. So I'll have a link to that video below. And that I did a couple of years ago with a hip kit. And I was using snowmen on it. So I remember the exact layout, which is what inspired me to do this type of grid style. but I'm just using different size photos this time. So I'm just working on adding different stuff in between each photo. I do have one block that I'm going to use for journaling, so it just has the pattern paper. And the pattern paper that I'm using is from the Clique Kits, one of their fall time kits that had this Pink Fresh Studio Indigo Hills collection. So I'm using quite a bit of stuff from that kit. And then I use some stuff from my stash, and I use some SpiegelMom Scraps stuff like that. Tag that it was just behind the Indian corn. That one is from SpiegelMom Scraps. That doily, the gold doily, is from her store. I don't know what else. I know I add some other newer stuff like the Wild at Heart collection. I use a little bit of that in here. So, and that's one thing that I love about when you just create from your stash or whatever you have. I don't even know if that's a stash layout. You just create with whatever you have, and you're not just using one collection. Those little clips are from SpiegelMom Scraps too, but I don't know if she still has those anymore. They're my favorite. They're awesome. There's these little, they're like little, they remind me of clotheslines. Even though we don't have one, which is fine. Because it's kind of a pain in the butt. But that's not what we're talking about. So in the kit, they had these gold leaves, and they're so pretty, and so I definitely wanted to use one of those. And I'm going to use these puffy stickers. These Pink Fresh Studio puffy stickers are amazing. They're so smooth and fluffy and pillowy. So I am doing that. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Probably looking for more stuff. So I think I tried to use the ephemera from Indigo Hills. I used quite a bit of stuff. There's some chipboard pieces that I used, and I tried to use some stuff that was in my stash too, like that piece there from Ellie's Studio, and it's just a cut apart tag, like a cut apart sheet. So I'm trying to think of when I made this. I know I had to have made it in like February because it was after I got all my new stuff, because I have some hearts, which I don't think I stuck on yet. Okay, so what I'm trying to do right now, and you cannot see me do it, is add that acetate piece to the bottom photo, and it says hello. And so I'm just stapling it with my mini stapler, and that one is the DIY shop one. So I believe it has the same size staples as the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. And I absolutely love it. It's gold. It's just nice and fun. And I love the little staples. I know I'm late to the staple game, but I really, really like the little staples. And I had a Teresa Collins stapler, but those staples are closer to a normal size stapler, which I didn't realize when I bought it. And I'm also, one thing, I don't know if it's already there yet or if I'm going to lift it up, is that I ended up putting a glassine bag behind that photo with my daughter holding on to the pumpkins. I thought I would use it to put a tag behind, which is kind of what I'm looking for right now. And I end up not doing that. I end up just sticking a little bit else of something on there. And then I use some gold leaf, like paper clips. Yeah, that's what they're called. They're called paper clips. My brain. And then I also stick this beautiful on there. And I know it covers the photo, but I'm not too worried about it, because you know what, guys? Like, really, if you're looking through the album, you can see enough of the photos to know that, oh yeah, that's a pile of gourds. I mean, like, do I really need a really, really big photo of the pile gourds. I mean, and I could. And this is the one thing that I like about doing a multi-photo layout. And I do this quite a bit, especially with stuff that I really enjoy. The photos. Oh, there's my messy hair. Well, sorry about that, guys. But one of the things, I was thinking about adding that cork piece because I really wanted to add all this texture because this is such a fun layout with the fall stuff, and I want like all these bits in fall. Can you tell that I still inspired by fall stuff? This year I was so inspired by fall, and I'm assuming that next year I will be inspired by fall again. Though right now I'm definitely inspired by spring and summer coming and flowers and all the greens, and I'm ready for spring, right? So here's that paper clip that I was talking about, and now I'm bringing it in. I'm trying to see where I want to stick it. That gold heart that's up on the Indian corn, that is from Citrus Twist in one of their kit. I think it was part of a kit, but I don't know exactly because some of the stuff I just took apart and just put in. I have a little tin, you can't see it. It's a muffin tin. Well, it's not really a tin. It's a ceramic pan for a muffin pan. And that is by Create Paper. I absolutely love it. So, okay, so here I'm working on there, and I really wanted to add a tag in there because I thought that would be fun, but I couldn't find anything that I thought really worked without completely going through everything in my stash. And sometimes I try not to do that. I don't know how you guys are. I mean, I don't mind looking through everything sometimes, but generally once I sit down at my desk, I don't want to be going to 50 million different places in my room, and my room's not very big, so it's not even that. It's just like when you get in that mode of creating, you just kind of want to use what you have around you, which is why I really like using kits. And it's why I've used kits a lot, or I make my own kits. So at this point, I decide that I want to back this up. Or I'm going to realize that that's what I wanted to do. So I also am using my pen, one of my journaling pens, to outline each of the little boxes because I really kind of want them to stand out. And I did a lot to it. So I thought by adding some blue in there, that would make it a little bit more visible. And I'm just going to do some faux stitching, like a squiggle line that is like stitching. And after that, I am going to be done. So watch the close-ups, and I hope you guys check out the rest of the other ladies' videos, even though they are all done with them and they've been up for a while. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later. Have a great week.